Hey, good evening, everyone. Robert here with my partner, Jason Bob. We're from Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Thanks for joining us tonight. As always, we appreciate your spending a little time with us. We're going to go over some questions that we're getting from the Mastermind and some things that are very interesting and certainly discussable.
So did you get the email I forwarded you today? We may only have one spot left.
Oh, I did not.
Yeah, he sent me, one guy said, reserve me a spot.
Okay.
I said, okay, and I forwarded it over to you. So we might just have one spot left.
So we can go over some of the prospects because they're really interesting now, right?
Okay.
So now, 18 months into this little thing, we're getting people that are, I guess, taking us seriously.
Oh.
So anyway, I'm going to start with a quote from, I'm not going to tell you who it is because I'm not sure he allowed us, but it said, ladies and gentlemen, and he did this on our WhatsApp group. So we have this big WhatsApp group. So
I did see this.
Massively active, right?
Yeah.
It is perhaps the most valuable thing in our mastermind.
Yes.
Is the WhatsApp group. And it said, ladies and gentlemen, just wanted to take a second to highlight the progress we've made since joining the mastermind 16 months ago. It's talking about him and his wife. Mm-hmm. At the time we had joined, we owned 5 single-family residences. As of today, we have 35 doors personally, and we're partnered in on a 27 units in the corporate syndication. I just wanted to thank Jason and Rob for the push. I appreciate you guys. Let's have a big year everyone. I'm looking forward to watching all of your continued success. So that got me a little weepy-eyed. That was nice. And I know that he had been growing aggressive, and he has since really stopped talking to us about every single deal now, right?
Yeah.
We were hand-holding for the first 3 or 4. We got him one, and he's going to come in and talk about one of his deals. He got one of those where it was at the end on the refi, no money.
Yeah.
Right? So he's got a little bit on the construction, and that's it in the closing.
But so that's
$10,000 in for a $400 a month cash flow.
Yeah, so 48% cash on cash return, right?
Yep.
You add appreciation, everything else on top of that, it's over 100%.
Yep.
So, but here's the important thing. It's a great. First of all, it's great that he shared that. But that deal he got was not his first deal, right?
No.
He's 30 in.
Right.
30 something, almost 40 in,
Yep.
and he's getting over 100% rates of return in the first year. So, I think that's one thing for people to keep in mind is. You go to case study night. Well, I guess you don't go anymore. Case study night's on Zoom, right? So you go to case study night, and it's like, let me show you how I made 400% rate of return. And everyone's like,
sure.
Yay! And they're like, okay, so I want those deals.
Right.
They're not everywhere. You've got to be doing them right before you get something like that. But all his other deals are great.
He got that deal down in Texas City. Mm-hmm. It was listed at $125, and we didn't get much of a discount. Mm-hmm. It was $120. He put 30 in.
So I'm for $150.
It's $150, and the thing just appraised at $185.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, home run, right? Mm-hmm. So it worked perfectly for him. And I remember there were 15 people in that room, and everyone's like, oh, well, Texas City, shouldn't I be buying at 90? And we're like, no, this is a deal. Go buy it. And people were afraid because they were, and here's the bigger problem that we see, is that they're making decisions today based on the information from a year ago.
I really like that. You're making real estate decisions today based off what you knew yesterday.
Right.
And the problem is I was on a webinar at 11 this morning where I'm part of that panel that Noble Mortgage is doing. And the reason I'm on the panel is they need the data guy there, right? So, it's kind of funny. A couple people said, some of our not mine, but kind of in the group, some of our predictions may or may not have come true in the past. And I almost said, well, that's the only important thing in listening to any of these people. I don't care what you did 10 years ago. I don't care what you did 10 minutes ago. I'm making investment decisions. My family's making investment decisions on what's going to happen in the future. So if you're going to the real estate seminar, you're going to the Zoom meeting, and they're talking about, well, this is what happened 6 months ago. That information is already outdated.
Yep.
You need to have a brain trust in there that says, hey, guys, this is where I should put my couple $100,000, couple $1 million.
Yep.
Because somebody's got to have enough data, have enough intellectual horsepower to say, this is the market we need to be in, and this is what we need to pay for it.
And I think that's probably the second most important thing about our mastermind is that we throw deals out there. We did it last night. It was 6 deals, right?
6 deals to the mastermind.
One half hour, got online, said, here, this one, raise your hand. Some people are like, hey, I need to know more details. Yeah, of course you do. Need to know your due diligence, but let's get a $100 option down.
Yeah, let's just pay the $100 option and move on.
Let's go. So, so she's working on the 6. I think we should land 5 of those, and we'll have 5 mastermind students ready to go.
Yeah.
So again, it's interesting to see. And someone was like, "Oh, hey, give me what you're drinking and all that stuff." And all that. The big thing for him was he came and sat down and took action.
Yeah.
Because I remember the day we showed that on the board back when we were having our mastermind meetings in person. It was at the hotel room, and there he is. We popped this thing up on the screen, and we said, "This is a deal." And everyone's like, "Well, Texas City, I should be buying at $90 a door." And I'm like, "No, man, that was last year. This thing's going to be worth $200 really quickly."
Yeah.
And it was a year ago, and it's on its way to $200. I would say by springtime, it's going to get close.
$200.
Yeah, it'd be a $200,000 appraisal, right? So
he's in for what? $150.
He's in for $150.
So he got $50,000 in equity in a year.
Yes.
He made the median household income in the United States on one deal. So it's like that's the part people aren't getting. It's like, why should I be buying in Surfside? I'm like, well, you should have been buying 2 years ago when we started, right? Yep. But even now, it's like, it's
these things that are popping up, and if they're sub 200, we scoop them up, right?
Yeah.
We're buying almost sight unseen on some of these things.
Yes.
Go to Corpus. I got 3 houses on one lot for $90,000. Buy it.
Take it.
How bad could it be?
Yeah, take it.
Right? What's the lot value? 92. Okay, we're still ahead $2,000, right?
Yeah.
So we're taking it. We're going to put about 50. It's a lot less than I thought. We'll put 50 into that. We'll be in for 140, and there'll be 3 houses, and they're going to rent for about $3,600 a month on a $140,000 investment.
People are running around like, I put an email out today. I also put it on Facebook, and I basically said, are the real estate events when they open back up and we start doing them in person, are they going to be just like the events we've been at before COVID?
Sure.
And there's part of me that thinks, yeah. And basically, I took a Jordan Peterson quote today, and I said, it was sometimes. Hold on, let me pull it. I want to pull the exact quote.
Sure. We'll make sure we quote Jordan exactly.
He did an interview with Matthew McConaughey, and I have not watched it yet, but I really want to. I'm just hoping he's back because he's just last couple interviews I've seen him do. I'm like, where's my man? That's the smartest guy in the room. He's just like. The meds he's on are not working out.
Consequences, yep.
Let's see here. Let me pull this up. Sorry, guys. I'm using...
No, but in that room, those were the 4 houses. Remember we bought the 4 houses in Galveston? Yeah. And those were short sale, and we lost. And someone won. And then that someone wholesaled it to us for an extra $20,000, and we bought it anyway. And we had $300,000 in on 4 doors for a total of $450,000 appraisal, right? So we made $150,000 on $300,000, 50% on our money on the appraisal, and they're all rented and they're cash flowing like mad.
You do 10 of those, you're worth $1.5 million.
Yeah, we're over $5,000 a month on the cash flow.
Sometimes later becomes never. That was the whole point of the email.
Very good.
Sometimes later becomes never.
Sure.
Because everyone sits around and hangs out and, I don't know, hems and haws, and then pretty soon you're going from later to never.
I'll give you a great example. Everyone's watching Tesla stock go crazy.
Yeah.
Okay? 2, maybe 3 years ago at this point, the woman, Kathy Woods from ARK Investment, comes along and says, Tesla's going to 3,500. And everyone laughed her off stage. You know what? We're coming up against a break here. We're going to continue this little Tesla real estate conversation. We come back. This is Robert and Jason with Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Thank you all again for joining us tonight. Hang tight. We'll be back. Yep, bring us right back. Welcome back. Robert here with Jason. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Hey, we're from Mr. Texas Real Estate. We got a big-ass building. We got all these crazy things going on. We got a mastermind. We got investments. We'd love to have a conversation to see what we can work together on in as far as the world of real estate. If you want to reach out to us, text us at 281-401-9008. even if it's just to have a 5-minute conversation, we're happy to get on the phone with you, figure some things out, and see if there's a relationship to build here. Yeah. Again, Robert and Jason, we're at Mr. Texas Real Estate. We have the Texas Real Estate Investment Center, 30,000 square foot building. We've got our radio show. We've got a podcast. We've got our investment fund. We've got a whole bunch of things going on in real estate. So if you're just finding us, now's a good time to reach out. 281-401-9008. 281-401-9008. Text, do not call.
So I want to talk about just briefly and we'll get back to Tesla and all this other stuff. But when we first have an initial conversation with them, this is not a sales call. This isn't, I'm trying to convince you to pay me $10,000 to be in our mastermind. That's not, in fact, we are disqualifying people.
Yes.
It's like, look, are you ready to do this? Let's talk about where you're at financially and how the relationships are in your household. And if you're really ready to get started, that's the conversation we're having. We're not having we don't need another $10,000 check between you and I. We really don't.
Well, I do.
I mean, it's nice.
It's nice, but
I'll take it.
We're not getting rich off it.
No, we're not getting rich off any of that.
None of that. Yeah.
So the reality, it just pays for marketing. It's really what it pays. It pays for this radio show.
That's pretty much it, yeah.
So the reality is the conversation we had with you on the phone is like, hey, look, do you have these 3 qualifications? Is your spouse on board with you? If you're if you've got somebody that's in your life long term, what's your time situation? Do you have enough time to review deals and go to some of the mastermind events? If you don't, then this probably isn't going to work for you.
So we have 6 spots open in the month of January, and we just want to control it. We don't want to stand in front of a room and try and get 100 signups. That's not what we're doing, right? And there are plenty of gurus who think that would be the greatest thing in the world. For us,
terrible.
It's like we can't do it. We cannot service the mastermind members the right way. So we said January 6th. We've already gotten 2 paid, 2 hard yeses, and you said you have another.
I got another third guy email me today.
And to get the 5 people that have verbally committed or have already paid, we've talked to 10 people. And 3 of those 10 people, the conversation's like, well, I'm going to wait a little bit. I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. This is not a pressure call. I'm here. Going to be here for the next 5 to 7 years. Let me know when you're ready.
Yeah, and this is the other way that conversation goes. I have no follow-up call. Like, if you tell me I might be ready in 2 months, I ain't calling you in 2 months.
No.
Because here's the problem. If you're not motivated to get going, I'm not dragging you in here kicking and screaming. Like,
this is not a rah-rah group.
Yeah, this is not for you, dude. This is for
we're not going to write our goals on the wall.
Yeah, there's no vision board. No. We're not doing a vision board. Nope. We're not doing that nonsense. We're going out and we're buying real estate. If you want to be a part of that, you can be a part of that.
Exactly.
But if not, then go to the next RIA Club meeting and, buy your sub-2 land trust options course. Whatever.
Go to the next one, yeah. So we had a new member came in yesterday, and we're like, you're going to buy these 2 houses. They're like, those 2? I'm like, yeah. Like, whoa. I'm like, but what are you here for?
What are we doing? Yeah.
We're buying these 2. Okay, we're buying these 2.
I don't think the ink was dry on the contract and the check yet. And they're like, we're going to buy 2 houses? I'm like,
right here.
I'm not sitting in this room not to buy some houses. What are we doing here?
So we're moving forward, and you, like you said, sometimes later becomes never. Back to that Tesla example, this woman went on national TV and said, I have the bear case at $3,500 and the bull case at $7,000. And everyone went, oh, she's crazy. Mm-hmm. And she's like, nope, we're gonna see this, here are the markers. And she's like, I think Tesla can get to 7,000. Everyone's like, you're insane, lady. Well, today, let's say at 800, and after a five-part split, Tesla would be at 4,000 if it didn't split. So she said, hey, my low case is 3,500, my high case is 7. Everyone poo-pooed her.
Yeah.
She's crazy. We're never going to do it. And that's when the stock was around $150 a share. Mm-hmm. So this is all the Tesla millionaires that believed her, went in and did it. Mm-hmm. So now people are like, oh, I missed out on Tesla. And I'm like, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
And it's like, well, I could have bought it at 150 when everyone was telling. We didn't believe Kathy Woods when she said it was going to go to 3,500. Mm-hmm. Well, Kathy Woods just came back out and said, right now, this shares we're going to $4,000.
Yeah.
So you have opportunity to 5x growth if you believe her, the analyst, and she has a proven track record, and you commit and you buy your shares now at $800. You have a 5x opportunity if you believe ARK Investments and Kathy Woods. Mm-hmm. The same woman who 3 years ago told you we're going to be here exactly where we are today.
Yep.
What do you mean you missed out? Go buy
Still
Tesla.
here. It's still here.
Yeah, it's right here, right now. She's predicting a 5x. And I'm like, for me, that'll be fantastic. I'll be a 40x on my money,
Yeah.
right? So I'm like, this is fantastic. But people are still, I think some folks would rather talk about, have the conversation than do the work, right?
There's that, and then there's, I would much rather be right and broke than wrong and rich. I think that's the amazing thing. I'd much rather be wrong
Yep.
and broke. No, I mean
Right
and broke than wrong and rich. Because here's the reality: it's like, oh yeah, I never thought Tesla would do X, Y, and Z. Well, that's why I never invested back then. But then you're like, yeah, but you're broken. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like, why would you do that?
Those are not the laurels that we're projecting, right?
So I in this email and this post I put out today, I said I've been hearing from guys who are going to buy at the next real estate downturn. I've heard that now for 13 years.
Yeah.
So you missed 13 years of prime real estate gains. And here's what we know. Here's what we know from Fannie, Freddie. Go to MBS News. Go to Housing Wire and start reading all the financial reports. Go to Freddie and Fannie's website and start pulling the white papers down from guys who have 3 PhDs in economics and everything else. And what they're telling you is the next housing crisis is the lack of affordable housing.
Yeah.
Let me explain that in real layman's terms. Lack of affordable housing means no landlords. That's really what that means.
Yes.
Lack of affordable housing means no landlords. So if you want the best way to and the least risky way to make money, especially in real estate, it's a single family landlord. That opportunity is evaporating daily.
Yeah.
Like, and this is not some scare tactic to get you to join a mass. Go look at the data. Look at the houses. Look how fast houses sell below the median home price in your market. It's almost measured in hours. It's so fast.
So even the market, Corpus Christi, and we're partial to blame because we keep hyping it.
Yeah, that's true.
You can't find a duplex for under $180,000 out down there.
Which we were snapping those up last year.
We were buying them for $100,000. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gone.
Just crushing it down there with
We
those.
were all looking over the MLS. We drove around this weekend. We're like, okay, this market is hyper accelerating.
Yeah.
It's hyper acceleration on this market. And so these are some of the questions we get. Hey, is it really happening? Yes. And yes. Are you coming or not? Right. And so, we take the time. We'll have a conversation. We'll ask any questions. Again, everything we kind of talk about on the radio here or on the podcast is what we're going to answer. There's no secrets behind. There's no secret sauce. I don't have a silver bullet for any of this stuff. If you have the requirements, if you make $100,000 a year, W-2, if you have a 700 FICO or better, if you have capital to deploy, let's go. Let's go become a landlord. And again, it's just 10 houses, stupid. Really, that's just it. We're just going to go get 10 over the next couple of years, sell half, keep half. And if you can't manage 5 properties in your retirement, then this probably isn't for you, right? So that's the other complaint. Well, I don't want to be the property manager.
Dressing yourself is probably not for you either. It's like you can't do 10 property. You can't do 5.
Hey, we're at the bottom of the hour here. Thank you very much. We will be back.
I got these new jeans, and they're fancy pants jeans, and they were making me blue even after I washed them. So then I used the vinegar trick, like vinegar and water, and you soak them overnight. So we'll see if I'm getting any blue on me. That white couch at the house has like the center seat is like blue. So somebody's gonna have to clean it. It's like completely blue.
Yeah, we'll throw a blanket over. Bring us in. All right, welcome back, everyone. This is Robert with Mr. Texas Real Estate, joined by my partner, Jason Bible, and this is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Hey, if you guys want to check out and see what we're doing, you can go to our website, mrtxre.com. MR is in Mr., TX is in Texas, RE as in realestate.com. That's mrtxre.com. Well, we've been doing a lot of interviews with folks who are coming into the Mastermind, and I wanted to just share some of the questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
A couple interesting ones. One was, she said, hey, I already have a business. I'm modeling kind of what you're doing. We have a few folks in our mastermind that are modeling what we're doing or are ahead of what we're doing. They're just not maybe as organized or has the systems in place or just need some tricks, just some business tricks, right? And that's what they're figuring out. And so that was a very interesting conversation. She's like, hey, I got to figure out how to analyze a market. I'm like, well, I've done that. I've moved from all over the country. And so we have a few of those folks, and that's always interesting because their questions have nothing to do with the husband and wife, engineer at Halliburton guy who's afraid of losing his job.
Right.
They're like, hey, tell me how we're doing this. I just, we're all about 10Xing our business, and so we got to get some systems in place. I'm tired of relearning the process every time we close on a property. Can you guys help us with that? I'm like, not only will we help you with that, we'll fly out and meet you.
Yeah.
We'll run through this thing for you. Absolutely. So there's some bigger folks, higher end stuff. Hey, I've already done 60 houses, but I'm trying to figure out how to do 500. Great.
We had a guy reach out to us, and he had actually been to one of my very first classes. He flew out from Florida, and he said, I'm trying to do 1,000 houses. I think he's done 200 or 300, something like that. And I was like, well, part of the challenge is, so we can have a conversation. But I said, part of the challenge is your market's too small. I can already tell you, he told me the size of his market. I'm like, market's too small. So we got to find a bigger marketplace. And then the financing solutions, financial products for guys like that are a little bit different too.
Sure.
So, but he totally gets the model, right? The model's not, we're living off the cash flow. The model is, let's sell half of these and have 500 free and clear, right? I mean, that starts looking pretty good for life.
That's pretty sexy.
Yeah.
Number. Yep. And then again, there's some other folks that are coming in or just really want to know the logistics. Will I get access to you guys? And it's like, this is not a course.
Yeah.
Right? This is not coaching, even though we do a lot of coaching. And so we'll just tell folks, because this is a question that we ask, so we have a big building.
Yeah.
If you just text us and ask us if we have 15 minutes this afternoon, we usually say yes.
Right.
If you're looking for 2-hour learning sessions,
that ain't happening.
That's not happening.
No, we got too much of
Way
stuff
too
going
much
on.
to do. But you want to come and sit down for 15 minutes, we'll go through it.
I think we got here. I got here relatively early yesterday, and I haven't been feeling good. There's been some weird sinus stuff. It's not COVID. No, it's not COVID. It's some weird sinus stuff going on. Anyway, so I get home last night. I think I was in bed by like 9:30. I'm like, I just don't feel right. And then you this morning were like, I'm on the couch. I'm not out of bed yet.
I was still sleeping. So here's what happened last night. I'll just tell you. I went to bed really early. So this darkness thing is really throwing me for a loop because
it's awful, isn't it?
We
feel like I live in Alaska.
Yeah, we're in Corpus. We finished our meal at like 6:30. We're driving back, and I'm like, I'm ready for bed.
Yeah, I don't like
6:45.
I don't like this at all.
And I went right out. I laid out in the bed in Corpus, and I was out, solid because usually I get a little jumpy. So much so that she said, I didn't want to get the bed to disturb you. So my wife went and slept on the pull-out couch at the Corpus place.
That's funny.
And I wake up because I'm in that 90-minute cycle thing, but I had done 2 cycles already. So I woke up like 10:30. I'm like, what's going on? What happened? What time is it? Totally confused. I come out, and I'm like, come, get in bed. Let's go. So
that's kind of funny because at 10:30, I would have been in our suite, and the party would have just been getting started.
But that threw my whole night off. So then I woke up at 3:30. Wide awake. And same thing happened this morning. I was up at 4:14, completely awake. And I did some work on the computers, Mets. We signed Lindahl. It's amazing. Mets are going to be great. Watch all the nonsense happen in Washington. And then it was like 6:15. I was out again. I was just completely out. So when you texted me, I was like, I'm sleeping. So that's what happened my day. My cycle's off. I got to keep myself, the fasting thing is making it interesting, so I probably need Friday off.
Yeah.
I need a 3-day just sort of reset. Because we did the whole tour down at Corpus, and I always feel like I'm on, right?
Yeah.
Like I am now. Like the energy's got to be up.
Right.
Encouraging everyone, come on, this is a great deal, this is a great deal. Stop and explaining everything, and that's exhausting.
It is for 2 days straight.
Yeah.
Well, nobody's open Monday. Monday's MLK.
Oh, perfect.
I was on the Noble thing, and they were like, "Hey, we need X, Y, and Z by Thursday or Friday because we're off Monday." I'm like, "What is Monday?" Well, all the banks and stuff are closed, so there's not.
Oh, we're gonna take Monday off.
We'll probably take Monday off here. So
It's a volunteer day. Yes.
Yeah.
If you want off, take off.
Yeah, there you go.
I want off.
Okay. You can have the day.
I'll get the day
We'll,
off.
we'll put it on your timesheet.
There you go.
We'll deduct the 8 hours of vacation.
Yeah, use your float time.
Somebody was asking me about that the other day, and I was like, I don't even know what you're talking about. It's been so long since I've ever had. How many days carry over? I have no idea.
We set all that up. Me and Chris did it.
Oh, did you? Okay.
No, we have a whole human resource policy now.
Do we have like a login somewhere? Or no?
Somewhere, yeah. Tells you the
Okay.
days off, what you're going to get, paid.
That's
Yep.
great.
We do.
That sounds like a great place to work.
It's not a bad place to work. I just yell a lot and I tell everyone to go buy houses, right? It's the same thing. So we got our transactional coordinator. She's ready to go.
Oh, great.
Yeah. She's ready to go. She'll probably take one of those ones we looked last night.
Oh, good. Okay.
Perfect. Yep.
I like when our employees start buying stuff.
Yeah. Well, they all need to. So again, just the questions that are coming in are very, very interesting, and we kind of, we can move as fast as you want. So the other thing is, how much time is this going to take? And I'm like, well, that's up to you. But what really happens is, and this is kind of the answer, is we get these spikes in involvement.
Right.
Someone says, okay, guys, I've got $42,000 and I'm ready to deploy it. All right, let's go find something. And they come in and they'll watch the webinar that you do, and they'll say, hey, all right, I'll take that one over there. And they go out and they start doing some due diligence, and our agents do what they're supposed to do, and we start getting the mortgages lined up. And 60 days later, they're a landlord,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
And then they go away for 6, 7, 8 months.
Yeah.
And they come back at the end of the year and say, I'm ready for another one. And, hey, good year. You bought 2 properties. You got 5 doors.
Yeah.
That's a great year.
Great
right?
year.
We're moving on. So it's really about how aggressive you're going to be when you buy the properties, how much resources, meaning cash, you have accessible to you. And then once you run out of that cash model, then we sort of move you into the private lender world. And so we have a path to move forward. So,
So that's one avenue, right? Where we get the couple. It's like, they buy 1 or 2 a year, right?
Yep.
And then we've got the other group that, like me, is sitting in a conference room somewhere and says, I haven't bought a house this week. Like
I'm itching.
I'm itching. I got this starting. I feel
Yeah.
right. I got to go buy something right now.
Well, some of our guys have bought offices here, rented offices,
Oh, yeah.
which is really smart.
It's great. Yeah.
Because they can walk in any time and say, hey, I need one, right?
I need one right now.
Like,
what do you guys got?
The dean and her husband,
Yeah.
they want to do 13 this year, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So they'll be walking down the hallway and it's like, what do we got today,
I
right?
think we got 3 guys up there, don't we?
We have
got
3,
yeah,
4.
we have 4. That's okay.
4, yep.
So we got 4 people in the mastermind have offices here, so they can wander down the hall and say,
And to be
"Sell me
around
something."
investors and deals, and everything like that. So, hey, we got one more segment. We come back here. This is Robert and Jason with Mr. Texas Real Estate. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. Again, if you want to reach out to us, text us at 281-401-9008. Check out our website, mrtxre.com. MR is in Mr. TX is in Texas. RE is in realestate.com. mrtxre.com. Hey, we will be back.
Hey, the restrooms upstairs, they're almost done, aren't they? Are they done?
There's just no toilet paper hanger yet.
Oh, okay. They'll be done next week for the Noble thing, right?
Oh, yeah, they all
Yeah.
work and everything going on.
Okay.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If we have to put a little wire and string up some toilet paper, I'm sure that's fine. Just want to make sure.
Stacking on that. We can get by that little, yeah, it
That's
works.
fine.
Yep. Looks great. I need the coffee machine.
Oh, yeah. When's she going to bring that?
She's already sent us some numbers back. It's free.
Oh, right.
You just have to buy a minimum X pods a month.
It's $17 a cup.
Something like that. It's so worth it, though. The productivity here will be increased when that coffee machine comes.
So when do you think there's a... So Rob, he's not joking when he tells his story. Like 3 years ago when we started working together, he said, I'm going to buy a building just so I can get this coffee maker.
Because we don't have enough people, yes.
Yeah, so this is the best coffee you've ever had.
And it was at the concierge level at the Animal Kingdom Lodge in Disney World.
And
That's a $1,100 a night stay.
yeah, and so this coffee maker, you can't buy it. It's
Nope.
a service contract.
Service contract, yeah.
So Rob had the gal in yesterday, and he goes, let me tell you how important this coffee maker is. See this building here? I bought this just so I could have that coffee maker. And she was like, Really? And of course, in the back of my mind, I'm like, this is the worst sales technique ever. I bought a multi-million-dollar building
like
so I could get
your coffee.
so I can get your coffee. So, in any
Said,
case,
very specific. It's got to have the pods, and she did like a little magic show. She pulled.
she
it
did.
out.
She was like,
She
these
did
pods.
I'm like, oh, that's it right there.
So I'm like, I'm just sitting here for 3 years anticipating this ridiculous coffee. So
It's good. And I told her to get the espresso mugs and this all
Okay.
line it all up.
Yeah.
Get it all perfect.
all right, yes, so just like at the
Dude,
concierge
I
level.
do not have a lot of indulgence. Around
Yeah.
here. That'll be my thing.
Okay, that's fine.
And I'm
Just
gonna, I
whatever.
might even put a camera that just shoots down so I can watch people using the machine, make sure they're not screwing it up, right? Because
Yeah.
I want to get my cappuccino.
That's right.
The cappuccino is phenomenal.
Really, so. Is it going to go down here? Or is it going to go
Oh,
upstairs?
it's right. The one's going in our conference room, and the other one is going outside of the learning center.
Oh, okay. Ooh, that'll be nice. We
That
have
one does not have the milk frother.
Oh,
Only
okay.
ours has the.
Only ours has the frother.
Yes.
Is it by the bathroom where we got the water line set
Yeah,
up?
that's exactly
Okay.
where it is. Yep. Mhm.
Okay, so there'll be a little area there.
Yep.
Man, that's high end.
Sure is.
That's
I
gonna
mean,
be
the
pretty
furniture we're getting is kick ass, right?
Yeah.
So, I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
this-
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to have a conversation with our facility manager here. It's like, hey, the bathrooms are functional. Now let's make them nice.
Yeah.
Like the seafold towels we have now are crap. I want
Yeah.
real nice seafold towels and a little basket on every countertop. And
I always like the mouthwash too. I like having that in there. I
there
like
should be a
having
little
all this-
dispenser on that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just like a higher end club.
It,
Like
sh-
I like
it should be nice.
nice golf club,
I mean,
right?
everyone in this building is trying to make money.
There's $1 billion that's going to walk through these doors over the next 2 or 3 years.
Easy.
It's like we can afford some mouthwash, guys.
Yes, and we're about to have our first tenant meeting. So
Okay.
that should be fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. We're building our new website.
Yeah, that's right.
So the tenants all get some blasting on the website. So that's exciting, and some links. And then every tenant that came in gets a segment on the radio. So we'll bring some people in next week.
That'll work.
Yeah, it's exciting.
Very exciting.
But if you're in the Mastermind, you get access to the building. You can hang out with us. Once COVID goes away, or let's say it's under control, you know, this is going to be very much like those communal learning working spaces, right?
I'll tell you this: Scotch, whiskey, and bourbon tasting starts in my office at about
Yes.
4 o'clock.
Yes.
So, in fact, when we do our open house, we need to be getting open house gifts, right? So
Yes.
for the center. So that's what we need in my office. there. We need to start-
I'll go with a little rye.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah. The smell of rye reminds me of my grandfather.
Oh, that's
He loved
interesting.
rye. Yep.
So if you're in the Mastermind, tasting hour starts at about 4.
Yeah. Well, the woman also said for the coffee maker, she's like, build the cafeteria. We'll run it for you
Oh, that's great.
on a gross lease.
Oh, that's perfect.
So we get portions of the profit back. I'm like, perfect.
yeah.
She's like, and you guys probably need some vending machines. I'm like, bring them in.
Yeah.
Yes, right now, bring them in. Yep. So again, we appreciate the folks that have been hanging with us and we're here at the beginning and working through construction, but we are almost ready for prime time.
Yeah. I had our audiovisual guy in here last week to figure out this stuff, so the studio looks a little bit better. This is all kind of temporary setup for now. You know what's funny? Joe Rogan's studio is actually temporary. The one in Austin.
Yep.
He said he's trying to figure that out too. But anyway, so it's what's that patent quote? You know, a plan executed imperfectly better than a perfect plan that never gets implemented, something like that. So that's really what it is over here. It's like, just get it done, just get it on the air, just get it going, right?
I think we need a piano here.
Where are we going to put a piano?
I think we can put it over here.
We still got to do the jungle. Still need the couch in the
We need
jungle.
it over there. I think we can just put a piano right in front of that jungle over there.
Okay.
Yep. I need a
That
piano.
does sound like real estate after dark.
And we need a guitar. We need to set our guitars up over here.
Oh, there you go.
When we have the publicist, I'm going to tell her to bring in local musicians and just let's get
that'd
this
be
thing
great.
going.
Yeah.
Let's have some
That'd be
fun.
pretty awesome. We need the stadium seating. I can still get it.
Get it right there.
It's about $1,000 a seat, but I can get
is too
from the
expensive for
Astrodome. Yeah, but we just need 5 or 6 here, maybe 5 or 6 over there. It'd be pretty
I'd
sweet.
be happy with 6.
6. Yeah, there you go.
grand,
6
yeah.
G's just right there so folks can watch the show.
That's funny.
And then I think there's a film we can put on these windows that takes the glare away. So that'd be kind of cool because then you can see through it a little bit better.
Well, when we get rid of these stand-ups, there'll be a lot more room here, right?
That's true. I need to talk to Brian's tent guy because it's just a 3M product. You just put the tent on.
Yeah.
I'll ask him.
I was a 3M vendor back in the day.
Oh, were you? Okay.
Yeah, I was looking at this stuff. We have one of the houses in the airport district, so we have to have acoustic-rated windows for multifamily.
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
I know. That's what we're dealing with now. That one is going to be the dog of the fund.
You think so?
Mm-hmm. It's a huge upside, but man, it's taking forever.
Yeah. Yeah, 2 years probably by the time it gets all done.
About 2 years by the time it's done, yep.
But, I mean, it's going to be awesome when it's finished.
Really good. Again, with the marketplace, I think we're still, I would think by summertime we're going to start picking up land. Maybe earlier, but we really got to be specific because people, like, just on that conversation, people are going to blow up your phone with all their crap land that they can't sell.
Yeah.
Hey, I got something for you, man. I told you talking about land. Here you go.
I just deleted an email, 20 acres in Farmersville. I have no idea where that's at.
We need municipal hookup. We want to see how far it is from here. Does it flood? What do we, there's a civil guy that we got to bring into this whole picture here. So, yeah. That's probably the fourth hire. The EXP champion guy that we're going to bring in, the procurement person for the contract.
So a real designer that is also procurement.
Procurement, little paperwork, and then our publicist, so we can actually blow this thing up. And then I think would be the land developer.
Okay.
Like a civil guy.
Yeah, we need a real somebody.
Retired civil engineer wants to do like 25 hours
Yeah, which would be perfect because that guy can cut through the BS in about 2 seconds, right? When he's looking at a potential deal to
be
put
smart
residential
if it was a civil engineer who got his real estate license, because then
he's going to be making a lot of money.
he'll make a lot of money here for us. So that's what we're looking for. We're looking for our next hire is going to be a broker that has built out a business and maybe shrunk it down because of all the other nonsense. But we're looking for someone to help us build out EXP. So we're still part of EXP. It's been fantastic for us. Every agent who's part of our thing or doing deals are loving it. So that's going to be our next hire. We'll in February, we'll put out a war hiring thing. Hey, that's it for tonight. So thank you all very, very much for joining us. Robert, Jason here. This is the Texas Real Estate Radio Network. If you're interested in the Mastermind, let's just go over that one last time. It is... we're really looking for high net worth individuals, so you need to make at least 6 figures. You need to have a 700 FICO or higher. 720 is better, but we can deal with that. You need to have capital to deploy, right? At least $40,000, $50,000, and the ability to refill that bucket. And it's $10,000 for year 1, $7,500 for year 2, $5,000 for year 3, $2,500 for year 4, and free thereafter. And we expect this will run about 7 to 8 years. 281-401-9008 is the number. Thanks a lot, guys.